When you directed your 2018 film, The Maestro, what did watching Xander Berkeley play, and forgive me, Mario Castanueva Tedesco?
Casanova Tedesco.
Okay, sorry.
Took me a month.
Okay, yeah, it's a beautiful name.
Yeah.
I can't. Okay, what did watching that character come to life teach you about craft and artistry?
That's a great question too. I mean, Xander is the type of actor who thrives in a role like this, and doesn't, unfortunately, get an opportunity to play roles like this a lot, especially in a lead capacity. So he was on. I mean, he was on the top of his game. But just that, I'm not a director who does a lot of takes. I'm just 4, 5 if it's really pushing it. But I tend to know what I want for the most part, and I like it when actors surprise me, and I think most directors feel that way, and they want to be surprised. They want to see what you're going to do differently and what you're going to throw into the mix. And Xander's the type of actor who will never give you the same take twice. I mean, he always gives you a different flavor. Even with the accent, I remember, he would come over and we would do, read-throughs of the script and just go through the whole thing, hammer out the character. And I don't know, 2 weeks before we started shooting, I came over to his house. He's like, I got 3 accents for you. And he gave me 3 different Florentine accents and different approaches to it. And, they were all Florentine, which is specific, but different variations, different intensities. And I really appreciated that, because it was like, he had put a lot into all 3 of those choices just to, figure out which one I liked best. So that was certainly, fun. And I like actors like that. I mean, to me, it's, you don't want to do the same take the same way 4 times. Why do that? Why not have some fun? Surprise yourself.
And this was written based on someone's grandfather was Mario that you worked with?
No, so C.V. Hurst was the writer and the executive producer of it, and his real-life father was Jerry Hurst, who is Mario's student in the film. Who's technically the lead character. And so he had written a script based on letters between Mario and Jerry in the latter years. And we took those letters and just biographical parts of Mario's life and kind of fused them together, and then sort of made our own character out of it. It's not necessarily his dad, but it's kind of faithful to his dad's experience.
And so when you saw Mario come to life in Xander, is there something that you saw in your own craft or your approach to your filmmaking or writing? That you saw in the character of Mario? That when Xander brought Mario to life in your film, was there something in you that resonated with that character? Like, I do that too. I feel simpatico.
Not personally, not really myself. I started to see. It's funny. I have an acting teacher named Jack Waltzer, he's 93, and he's been around forever, and he taught everybody. And around the time I started working on The Maestro, it was around the time I started to get into acting myself, and learning about what I'm asking actors to do intimately. And so part of it was realizing that a lot of that was alive in the character of Mario. That even though it wasn't a movie about acting, it was a movie about music, it was the same thing. It was like getting students to really get in touch with their feelings in order to find the artist within themselves, rather than, like we were saying, seeking some sort of validation from it. So that really came alive for me in the character, not necessarily anything Xander was doing. But for me, like, with Xander, when it really came to life was when he had the look. He had the look down because, he at the time needed to keep the beard for The Walking Dead, so we made the beard work. But when we got the clothing down and he got the walk and he got the accent, then it all started to come together. That was the moment, I think.
And how did you produce the film? Like, how did you get the funding together for it?
The executive producer got it through private equity, pretty much. All my films have been made that way, for the most part.
You've never crowdfunded?
No. Not for features, no.
Have you ever put any of the budget on a credit card?
Oh, I've been putting my own money into this whole thing since the beginning. I think that's part of it. I mean, I've been putting money into the industry since I was a little kid, for sure. But yeah, I have no problem with that. I mean, I think it's just, you get it done. I'd like to have more control. I mean, I'd like to be in a position to finance my own stuff more actively, for sure, because it's a good time for that.
What would happen if you couldn't make movies? Couldn't make films?
Like, how, in what reality?
Someone took your SD card away from you. No, I'm just kidding. No,
I do theater.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would find a way to create these stories.
You mean if just cameras were outlawed and like cameras do not exist anymore and so you cannot make films with them?
Just something happened where you were forbidden.
Yeah.
There was a court order.
Yeah.
You can't make films for 2 years.
Court order's not going to hold, really. I'll be going to jail.
Okay.
No, I mean, I would find another way to express myself, whether it was musically or theatrically or just continuing to write.
Did you watch Birdman?
I did.
What did you like about it? What did you not like?
Oh, I love Birdman. I love See, I'm a big fan of Michael Keaton. I'm also a very big fan of Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne. Yeah, I think he was the best Bruce Wayne we ever had. Not necessarily Batman. I think he was the best Bruce Wayne we had. He was the most interesting Bruce Wayne we had. And I thought that really culminated in what's the second one with DeVito? Was it Returns? I believe it's Returns. Batman Returns. And when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, man, like this is fascinating. I would like to take Batman away, put more Bruce Wayne. This is so fucked up. What happened to you? And like his psychology and the way he deals with this tragedy, it's very psychological. And I just loved the way he played this stoic, tortured, quiet guy who lives in the castle. He was like Orson Welles in the castle, living all alone. And, the movie didn't do well, and they fired him, and they brought in Joel Schumacher, I think, and we know how the rest played out. But I thought that the Birdman character was really a reference to that in a big way that I appreciated personally. But I like movies that are about movies and acting and stuff like that, but what they did technically with the one shot was, I mean, I still don't know how they did it.
So you like The Player, you liked that?
I love The Player,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of, there's so many other industry, I don't know why, forgive me, I'm drawing a blank.
Well, they win awards a lot. That's why I thought Quentin was going to win last night, because, I think in the last 10 years, Argo, The Artist, La La Land kind of, I didn't win, but it did. It won for a second. And there was another one too. And then they tend to, they say, oh, people hate movies about making movies, but do they? Because they make them a lot. I
liked Day of the Locusts. Did you see that one? That was a long time ago.
But Nathaniel West.
With Karen Black and Burgess Meredith.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see similar parallels to the industry then.
Yeah.
As there are now. With Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I know I've said this in other interviews, but I liked how Leonardo DiCaprio's character he seemed to have made it in the eyes of so many people. Mm-hmm. However, within his own industry world, he felt he was fading.
Right.
And was in a severe depression over it and very angry. It was just very interesting. Mm-hmm. Because to the outside world, we would see him as, wow, he's on a set, he's got a nice house with a pool, he seems to be doing well. And I just thought that was an interesting take on the industry, these different levels.
Yeah.
And how some people are satisfied and they're at a lower level and you wouldn't think they would be happy. And others aren't, so it's just very interesting.
That movie really stayed with me.
Yeah, now they're supposed to be releasing like a 3-hour version. Is that right? Or
oh, didn't we see a 3-hour version?
Okay, isn't there a longer one that might be
They're going Irishman on us? All right.
I'm not sure, maybe 4 hours. For some reason, I thought there was an extended version coming.
I think I heard something about that too. I'm in. I can't wait to see
that.
Yeah,
I know. I would love to see that as well. I thought it was like 2.5, maybe.
You might be right.
No, I'm probably wrong. But so you like movies about the industry?
Not exclusively, but I've liked a lot of films like that. Mm-hmm. I think we named most of them. there's a player. The player is certainly another. Yeah, it's fun, but it's fun if you're a part of it. But it also shouldn't be like a secret, esoteric type of thing. Like it should be a film everyone can enjoy, even if they're not in the industry.